Hey guys, and welcome to another playthrough video of soldiers in postmen's uniforms here on World War II Solitaire board game channel. So this time we're gonna go ahead and play with the tactic cards. We're gonna play on the veteran difficulty. There are a total of 3 difficulties. There's the normal difficulty without any tactical cards. There is the veteran difficulty where you use 1 tactical card every attack phase, and then finally there is the elite difficulty where you will use 2 tactic cards every attack phase. This time, like I said, we're gonna play on veteran. We're just gonna use 1 tactical card every attack phase. Other than that, there are a few other things that change, and when you play on veteran, instead of starting with riflemen in these positions during all of the beginnings, you will start with submachine gunners. That is true for phase 1, 2 and 3. In phase 1 and 2 there will be submachine gunners instead of riflemen, and in phase 3 there will be SS submachine gunners instead of SS riflemen. On top of that, there will also be machine gunners placed out in all empty positions, if there are any empty positions. So that makes it even harder to escape, since even if you clear machine gunners ahead of phase 3, they will pop up anyway. So I'm not going to be discussing the rules since I did that in my first playthrough video. So if you haven't watched that video, I do recommend you to watch that video first. On another note, I just want to say there is a little bit of a reflection in the board. There is a little bit of a glare. I can't do anything about that. I've adjusted the camera and the lights as good as I can. There is a bit of a glare from the board even when you play. For example, if I play, I can't have a light behind the table. I find that I have a hard time seeing the board that way. And that's been the way with all of these Valiant Defense series games, that there is this kind of glossy glare on the boards, which makes it hard to capture them while playing. And before we get going, I just want to say a quick note about my last playthrough. I did 4 small errors. The first error I did was that I did not progress to the next attack phase if I didn't kill all of the breached assault counters and all of the leaders. But the thing is that you only have to do one of those things. So either you kill all of the leaders on the board, or you kill all of the guys that have breached. So if you just do one of those conditions, you can progress to the next attack phase. The second thing I did was these logistic guys. They can carry 4 items, which I did with them. For example, I used a move token on Mlynsky, and then I moved all of these 3 ammunition tokens over here. But the thing is, they can actually only move 1 item, but they can move 4 items if he also stays in that new location. So for example, if I just want to move 1 token, I can move 1, but if I want to move to Marsalovsky's place, I can bring all of these 3 ammunition tokens and this grenade token. Let's see what I did more. Okay, so I did the fire truck card, which will be in the last attack deck. We have that right here. I mixed that with 12 bottom cards. You shouldn't do that because I was emboldened. If you are panicked, you mix it with the bottom 12 cards. If you are shaken, you mix it with the bottom 7 cards. If you are emboldened, which I was, you should simply put it at the bottom of the deck. And the last thing I did wrong was when I was calculating victory points, I calculated 1 victory point from Konrad and Flikovsky or Flysikovsky. And you should actually, so that I counted two victory points too much. So not a big deal here, just clarifying. You should only count victory points from the white color defenders and the blue non-combatants. So the red ones and the black ones, you will never gain victory points for them if they survive or if they escape. Only the white ones and the blue ones, the civilians. And that's it. That's only real errors I did. I did a little bit funny thing with the stacking of the assault counters, but Anyway, it is what it is. I did a description of that video. In the description, I noted all the errors, so you can read more about it there. And now that we discussed that, we're just going to go ahead and start playing. So the way this works with the attack cards, or sorry, with the tactic cards, is that you have your tactic cards deck, and this should be divided into the three different decks. So tactics number 1, morning. Tactics number 2, midday, and tactics number 3, evening. And so you should shuffle these cards, obviously, and when you have shuffled them, you should remove 3 cards from each 3 decks. So a total of 9 cards. And that's when you're playing, remove them from the game, and that's when you're playing on the veteran difficulty. So now we're ready to play. We're gonna set aside number 2 and number 3. And let's see. I want to have my decks right here. And then, as usual, you always set aside the grenade bundle cards, the 4 and the 5 truck. Even on a normal game, they should be set aside. Okay, so we are ready to go. And almost ready to go. Because the first thing we need to do is take 3 submachine gunners. Again, instead of riflemen like in the normal version of the game, we take instead submachine gunners in all of these places. And now we're ready to go. Okay, so we have our tactics deck and we have our normal attack deck. So the simple thing you just do now is just draw the first tactic card, and that is gonna possibly affect all of the other attack cards I get. So I get an Eastern approach, and I'm gonna stand up and show you this to the camera. When placing an enemy assault counter, roll the 1 to 6 placement die 3 times and use the highest result. Ignore the effect of this card if the Western approach card is also in play, and that would be if you played on elite difficulty, then that could happen, not on veteran difficulty. Okay, so we have a rifleman. So the rifleman is going to be affected by our tactics card. So we will roll 3 times, and actually we only need to roll once because it's already the highest result. It can't go higher than 6. So our rifleman will be placed over here. And we have another rifleman. And we roll a 1 the first time. And a 6. And again, 6 is the highest result we can get. So we go ahead and place him at 5 to 6. Our submachine gunner has reached the barrier, which is barrier number 3. So we're going to go ahead and find the grenade bundle for that. There we go, grenade bundle for barrier number 3. And we're gonna go ahead and add that to the deck and shuffle our deck. So again, I told you guys about this when I was playing the basic game. You should actually put these cubes after the Germans have blown the barriers up. But I think it makes more sense to have them on the board and then remove them as the Germans blow them up. So that's why I'm playing it like that. But if you want to play 100% by the rules, if you're a rule stickler, yeah, you should add the cubes as those barriers get blown up. Okay, so we shuffle the grenade card in and we draw that grenade card so that that cube is removed from the game. And we have another rifleman. And again, we are going to go ahead and roll 3 times and use the highest result. We have 2 4s and a 6 again. So we might actually get a breach really early in the game. Another rifleman. And we have a 5. So again, 5 is the highest. That means the submachine gunner makes a breach. And that also means that this guy, Fuss, he gets killed because... Or let's see, maybe he doesn't. Nope, my apologies. He doesn't get killed. We have this entrance and there's no one standing there, so he actually doesn't get killed. Remember that these guys will get killed if someone enters from that side. So we're lucky this time, we survive. And there you can see how the tactic cards really add to the problem of defending, I was about to say Pavlov's house, but no, defending the Danzig post office. Okay, so let's see what we want to do now. We want to move some guys. These guys are going up, and they can carry 2 items each if going to a new place. So they are moving up to the interior, and they are bringing some grenades with them. These are my commanders. I want them up at the 2nd floor. And let's see what else I want to do. Think I'm gonna go ahead. Man, this is hard. Okay, so I'm gonna get these guys out of the entrances. I don't want them to get killed during the next possible breach. Okay, so we move them like so. And then we have 4 actions. And of course we're gonna have to deal with this submachine gunner right here. So this guy is gonna go ahead and fire 2 dice. I need a 4 or higher. I roll a 1 and a 4, so unfortunately that's 2 misses. Let's see, who else do I got? I am gonna go ahead and use Vasik, who has 2 in combat value. And I roll a 6 and a 3, so the submachine gunner is successfully destroyed. Okay, so we dealt with the breach. Now I want to deal with this. I want to get some suppression tokens in there, I think. So I'm going to try to, let's see, take out this Rifleman. So I'll use Batsier, who is in purple and gray. It doesn't need a weapon to target any assault counters, only these support counters. But he only has attack value of 1. See, I have no other inspiration. Nope. Oh, I am lucky. I roll a 4, so I take care of that Rifleman. Then I'm gonna go ahead and use Gorsky to suppress. Where did I put the action token? Did I roll those away? No, there we are. Okay, so I'm using Gorky to suppress. So I remove this from the game, the ammunition token. He has a combat value of 2, plus 1 in suppression, and his suppression weapon give him plus 2 in suppression. So a total of 5 in suppression value. So I will add 5 suppression tokens over here in the gray area. There we go. And that is the end of the first phase. So that is basically how it works. So quite easy, not a lot of fuss. Grenade bundle is supposed to be removed from the game, so I'm removing that card from the game. And we'll reset our action tokens. And reset our move tokens. And the next times I do this, and by this I mean resetting all of the action tokens and the move tokens, and taking new cards or removing old cards, I'm just gonna go ahead and pause the recording because I don't want this video to be several hours long. Okay, so we are in the next step, so we draw the next tactic card, and this time we have a coordinated attack. This one is quite dangerous. After solving a Rifleman card, roll the 1 to 6 placement die to place a second Rifleman counter and advance the counters as normal. So double the trouble. Luckily we have drawn already quite a lot of Riflemen, so if we are lucky, maybe we don't get many more. Okay. And we get a Rifleman. Let's see where he goes. He goes on 5. So the first, I'm gonna put 2 riflemen on the card, not to forget the second one. So the first rifleman pushes another rifleman into my suppression tokens. I'm gonna sacrifice 2 suppression tokens and roll 2 dice and hope that I suppress him. Oh man, that was a close call, but I got him. And then we have 1 more rifleman to roll for, and he also goes in the same location. So I will do the same thing again. I will use 2 suppression tokens and hope that's enough to keep that rifleman at bay. And this time it was enough, so that third suppression token, unfortunately, it's lost. Okay, so I don't know why I did that. Okay, then we have 1 more attack card, and it's another rifleman. So you can see these tactic cards, they can make it hard for you. Okay, so we have reached a barrier, but let's place out the last rifleman. He's gonna go to that place. So we have reached the second barrier. So we have reached barrier number 1 and barrier number 2. So we will add the corresponding grenade bundle cards to the deck. Let's see. And just shuffle the deck. I'd much rather get a grenade now than these riflemen, because they are killing me. They're gonna surge my house, surge my beautiful post office. Now we have a submachine gunner. That's the first time ever I am happy to see a submachine gunner. We have a breach cast by that submachine gunner. And another rifleman. Man. Should I say 2 more riflemen? And we have 1 more breach. And 1 more attack card. And luckily it's a submachine gunner. Man, 6 here is getting really rushed. So we have another breach. So I think we're actually going to use a grenade this early on. I don't feel like I have much of a choice. Okay, so that is the end of the second attack phase. Now we need to try and deal with this. Quite a lot of guys here. 3 riflemen. Okay, so I'm going to use fuzz. And before I do that, I'm actually going to move around some of my guys. So first of all, the commanders are going up here. There we go. And let's see. Who else do I want to move? I want to move this guy. He's going down with all of this ammunition and that 1 grenade bundle down here. Because that's where I want my ammo. And the grenades. So a lot of stuff going on in this interior place. And then I have 1 last movement to do. And I'm going to get this guy out of the entrance. And let's see what I want to put him. I want to put him over here. Okay, so now another thing. I'm going to use the grenade now. Another thing, if you have a defender in the interior, they cannot benefit from the Inspire ability or attribute. I think I also did that small error on my last playthrough. But again, if you have a defender in the interior, they cannot benefit from the Inspire attribute, even if there is, like in this case, an Inspire defender in the same interior location. Anyway, Fuzz is going to go ahead and use a grenade. So we'll remove the grenade from the game. And the grenade itself, together with him, because he has attack value of 2, I will get to roll 2 dice, but because he's also in the interior, he will get to roll +2, which is 4. So let's target the first rifleman, and we successfully take him out. Then we have a second rifleman, and yes, he is also gone. And a last one. And woo, that was close, look at that. I got him, but just barely. Alright, so we dealt with the intruders, but we have lost precious time and we have lost one grenade, and that's not good in the first phase. Let's see what we want to do. Okay, I want to take out this rifleman here in the gray, and I'm gonna fire at him with Klusovsky. Klusovsky has attack value of 2, so I get to roll 2 dice. And the rifleman is gone. And then I will use this guy to spam some more what's it called? Suppression tokens. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the reason why I do 5 is because he has an attack value of 2, suppression value of 1, and the weapon itself has a suppression value of 2, so that equals 5. Okay, so we have one more action. Let's see what we want to do. I think I am... Okay, I think perhaps I should do some suppression here. Or should I? I think I'm going to save that suppression for later on. But I'm going to fire at them. So I'll use this fine chap here and shoot with 2 dice at this rifleman here. Yep. And we roll 2 4s, so he's gone. And that is the end of that phase. So we go now to next phase. Alright, next attack phase. I gotta say, I'm a little bit worried because I haven't drawn any machine gunners yet, so that means they are coming, and they are coming in abundance. So we're gonna get them all at the same time. Some of these tactic cards actually make the machine gunner better. Okay, so this is not a good tactic card to get right now because we placed a lot of riflemen, meaning we have a lot of submachine gunners left. After resolving a submarine gunner card, place a second submarine gunner counter in the same location as the first, and then advance the counters as normal. So, wow. Suddenly I'm hoping for machine gunners instead of... Yeah, there we go. Machine gunner in A. So, first of all, it's blue and orange. They will always target the color which have an occupied defender in the highest floor. So it will be blue on upper floors. We will roll to see who he will target. He will target number 1, which is Franz. And then we will roll 1d6 and compare it to the defensive value, which is currently 5. So the 3 is a miss. And I told you guys the machine gunners are coming. Number C, or letter C, white. So we will roll to see who he will target. He will target number 2, which is this guy. And again, with 1d6, he rolls a 4. The defensive value is 5. So lucky for us, he misses. And we have a machine gunner again. And again, it's A. So that is now emplaced. We will roll to see who he will target. Franz is targeted again, but this time with 3 dice. And he rolls 2 5s, so that is a successful hit. Franz is disrupted. And the 4th card is a leader, Gertz. He will go to location 1 to 2. Let's see. There we go. I dropped Gertz on the floor, but I got him up. So he's there, and then the last card. Oh, so lucky. So this time the tactic card actually did not do anything bad to us. If you don't count scaring us as bad. 3 to 4. And that is the end of the enemy attack phase. So I think we handled that quite well. Let's see. I want to get my Inspire guys into position. Let's see, let's place them at 1, where they are the least likely usually to be hit, it feels like. And then we have 2 more moves to do. And we have this Inspire character that we want to move, and we shall move him over here. And then we have one last move. This is always kind of hard. Okay, I think I'm gonna move away this soldier, because then I can move this guy there then with some ammunition. We can 6 of them, so that is gonna take a long time otherwise. Well, I think I'll wait with that. Sorry guys. I'm gonna go ahead and move one of these guys with a rifle to this place, because I want to bring him down over here preferably. Okay, so that is my moves. Then I have some actions to take. I want to get rid of this machine gunner right here. Let's see what we want to do with that. I also would like to do some suppression here on this base. But we'll deal with the machine gunner first of all, to have that done. And he is white and gray, so I can't target him with this, but then I can't suppress. But in the same time, I think I'm gonna save the suppression until next round anyway. So I'll fire 2 rounds at, let's see, I'll fire it at this rifleman here. I need a 4 or higher to hit, so I successfully hit. I have 3 more actions to take. Let's see. The machine gunner. Oh, we should have taken the machine gunner. I forgot about him. Okay, so we'll fire on the machine gunner with this guy. Need a 4 or higher. I roll 6, so the machine gunner is gone. Then we have this entrenched one, so that could be worth also starting to fire at. So I'm gonna use Sivinsky, which is in orange and gray. He will fire 2. Let's see, 2. I have no inspire. Yep, no inspires, only 2. I need a 5 or higher for this one, and I roll a 2 and a 3, so unfortunately that is a no-go. And then I have one more action. And let's see what I want to do with that last action. I still think getting a shots at that machine gunner can be worth it. Unless I have someone who can fire at something better, but I don't see that I do. So I think I'll take one of these. The problem is that to fire at this machine gunner, they actually have to have a ranged weapon. Otherwise they can just fire at counters in their same area. So I don't believe I have anyone in the same color. Yeah, I have Kurkovsky. So Kurkovsky uses his rifle and fires 1 shot at this machine gunner. He needs a 5, he rolls a 1. But I think that's not too bad. He's the postal officer after all, you know, a postal worker. Okay, so that is the end of that round. I think we are still doing decent, so we go to next round. Okay, so next turn. Let's check our tactic card. So the tactic card is Dig In. If you draw a machine gunner card and the corresponding machine gunner is not already on the board, place the machine gunner support counter immediately. Place the placed support counter on top of it and then activate the machine gunner. So this is not a good one if you draw a lot of machine gunners. And the first one is a submachine gunner. Thanks. And it's a 4. It's piling up over here. And then we draw another submachine gunner. And it's 5. So we have a submachine gunner walking into our suppression. We're going to use 2 of our suppression tokens and hope to roll a 4 or higher. We don't, so we lose 3 suppression tokens. Wow, that is sad. Then we have the grenade bundle for this barrier, so it goes away, and then it moves like that. And then we have a machine gunner B, and there is no one there. So with the tactic card, unfortunately, there is also a second machine gunner, then placed 1. and he will target blue. Let's roll to see who he will target. Number 3, which is this guy, and he will roll now 3 dice since he's emplaced. And he hits. So we get a disruption token on this poor guy. Then we have one more card to draw. Hopefully not a machine gunner. It's Willer. I can deal with Willer. And he goes into this area, so again we have a breach. Okay, that is the end of the enemy turn. I still think, I mean, it feels like this, I can deal with this. But first, before I deal with it, I'm gonna keep moving my soldiers. This guy, I'm moving down here with the rifle. He's bringing a rifle down there. And then I want to go ahead and, let's see, do some more movement. I find it pretty good to bring these guys down before it's too late. Otherwise, it is going to be a hassle once that play starts breaking up. And these guys, the question is, do you want to try to escape? If you want to try to escape with them, I think this is the best place to keep them. If you're not looking to escape with them, I wouldn't have them there because it's a very dangerous place. But we're gonna try to escape, even though it's almost impossible, I dare say, on elite and veteran difficulty. But we will try, because we really want to save these people. And we want a major victory. So we'll leave them there in the bathrooms, close to the side entrance. So that leaves us with one final movement. And we're gonna go ahead and move one of these, let's see, suppression tokens. Where do we want to move them? Okay, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna move with Klinkos into the bathroom here, and he's gonna bring with him, let's see, 3 suppression tokens, because I am looking to bring my suppression guy down there to this area in the next phase. And then I got some actions to do. I got 4 actions. We gotta deal with that submachine gunner, so that's gonna be our first thing to do. So we'll fight with this guy. He has a 1 in attack value, but he gets +1 because of the Inspire Defender in the same color. I need a roll of 4 or higher to get that submachine gunner, which unfortunately I don't. But I have a second chance here. Again, 2 dice. I roll a 5, so the submachine gunner is gone. Now the question is, do I want to deal with these machine gunners, or do I want to deal with this threat? I think this threat is currently bigger, so that is what I'm gonna deal with. Let's see. Okay, so we have this guy. We'll use an attack, again 2, because we have the Inspire character there. So we are gonna attack Heinrich. Need a 5 or higher, and we're on a 3 and a 1, unfortunately. I'm also going to use one action to reactivate this guy in case we have a breach. If we have a big breach, he can use grenades with his very good combat ability. And that is the end of that turn. Alright, ready for the next turn. And our tactic card is add 1 to the defense value for enemy counters during the defender phase. Now that is a horrible card. If we have a breach now, we're gonna have a big problem, I tell you that much. Okay, so first we have the grenade bundle here, which is the first barrier. So we lose our last barrier on this side of the defense area. We have a machine gunner on D, and he will target red. So let's see who his unfortunate target will be. It will be 1, unfortunately, and he will roll 1 dice. Hopefully he will miss. Yes, thank you, he missed. He needs a 5 or higher to hit, since the defense value is currently 5. And then we have a submachine gunner, and luckily we don't have a breach. And now if we get a unit, it's going to be a breach. It's a machine gunner again on C. And he will target white 1 to 3 or 4 to 6. He will attack with 1 dice and it's a hit. He only needs a 5, so a disruption token is placed. Oof. Last card. And it is a submachine gunner, so we are going to have a breach. And it's going to be on... Luckily on this side, it could have been this guy, which I would have needed a 6 to kill. Okay, so we have a 5. Let's see, it was a submachine gunner. But that is the end of the attack phase. So now it's going to hurt us, these tactic cards. So this is the fun part with the tactic cards, that sometimes they're dangerous during the attacking phase, but now they're going to be dangerous during our phase. So it's going to be much harder to kill any counters. Okay, for our movement, we are moving, let's see. This guy is moving over here. This rifle. And this guy is moving over here. But he leaves his rifle. And I think that is all currently. Okay, so then we have 2 more movements. So we're moving down these fellas. And of course they're bringing the rifles with them. And then we have 4 actions to do. So we gotta deal with that rifleman, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and fire. And they're all in pretty bad shape now. That is a problem. Okay, so let's go ahead and fire with Magulski. He will fire with 1 die. I need a 5 or higher. Ooh, I get a 6. Man, that is lucky. Because next turn, I'm going to have trouble here if I don't have more activated units. So I'm going to activate this guy with a 1 action. And I could fire to try and save the situation, but the problem is that if I fire now, it's going to be harder for me to hit with the add 1 to the defense value of the enemy counters. So it makes more sense to me to reactivate my soldiers here, so I have a bigger chance of taking them out next turn. And even though I attack now, they might not even come into the house, because I might kill, for example, let's say this submachine gunner, but then I might not draw any unit that will go into this line. So you really gotta think in those tactical terms. Let's see, I want to go ahead and activate this fella here because he has 2+1, so that's really good. And that, my friends, is the end of this turn. Alright guys, so it's time for the hopefully last turn of attack phase number 1. Let's see what kind of nastiness we will get from this tactic card. Fire support. If a machine gunner disrupts or removes a defender, activate the machine gunner a 2nd time. Okay, that is okay. We could have gotten something worse by, for example, one of those place 1 more assault counter kind of deal. Okay, so we have a rifleman. The rifleman is going to come into this area. So we will have a submachine gunner breaching. And 4 cards remaining. We have a machine gunner going to B. B is already in place. So the target will be blue number 5. So that is going to be these 2 guys. And ooh, this is going to be bad because he's going to get to roll 3 of them. Oh, of course he doesn't miss. So first of all, these 2 guys are disrupted. And because of the tactic card, if a machine gunner disrupts or removes a defender, activate the machine gunner a 2nd time. So we're going to roll to see if he's going to attack again. And I hope we don't roll. Man, if we roll 1 or 3 or 5, he's going to kill that guy. A 1, so that is unfortunate, but it is okay. We will roll 3 dice. Hopefully not a 5 or higher. Oh yeah, he missed. Okay, so our defensive value is still 5. He rolls a 1, a 3, and a 4. If he would have hit, I would have had him disrupted and lost Franz. Okay, moving on, getting excited, and we have a D. That's not too good. Let's see, D, we already have one, so he's gonna go and place now, and he's gonna target red, and red number 4 is empty, so we move up. It's gonna be this area. So he needs a 5 or higher. Unfortunately, that's what he gets. So we have our first loss, and it's a postal worker, so we lose 1 of our morale. Man, that is not good. And then because he successfully suppressed him, he will get a second attack, and we will first roll to see the target. The target will be the same area again, and he needs a 5 or higher to hit, which this guy is already suppressed now. So that means we have our second lost. He is trained, so that will not affect our morale. So he's gone anyway. Well, that is sad. Then we have a Rifleman. I'm not happy about getting more breaches, but I'm happy about not getting more machine gunners. So it's going to be this area once again. So we have another submachine gunner breach. And then the last card, and it's another submachine gunners. We are going to have a total of 3 breaches, and it's free. And that's not a good one, because then we get one of the leaders breaching, and they're quite strong. Okay, so what was it? A submachine gunner. Alright, so that means it's hopefully last enemy attack turn, because if I can get rid of these guys, we should be fine. Before we do that, I'm going to go ahead and do my movement. Let's see, I want to move with this guy down the basement. And he's going to bring one of his rifles. And let's see, let's take one more guy down the basement. And he's also bringing a rifle. And 2 more movements we can do. Want one of these Inspire guys over on this side, so he's gonna move over here. And then I'm guessing I'm gonna go ahead and move Conrad down here. Just abandon this, all hope of this side of the upper floors. Okay, so then we have our actions. So let's see if we can save this situation here. The thing is, I kind of want to save my grenades, because if you're off using grenades in the first attack phase, that is a pretty bad sign. But there's 3 of them, and one of them is extra strong, so we'll start with this guy anyway. He'll use his action to fire at Heinrich, and he has an attack value of 2, and he gets +1 because of this Inspire defender in the same. I need to roll a 5 or higher. I roll a 6, so that's good news. Then we have, let's see, this guy who has 2 attack value, and he's attacking the submachine gunner. He needs a roll of 4 or higher. He rolls a 5. Okay, exciting now, because I need to kill this last guy to be able to move on. If I fail, I will have to reshuffle the cards and do another attack phase, and I don't want that, especially with these tactic cards. Fuss also has a 2 attack value. Keep in mind that they can't benefit from the Inspire attribute, although there isn't anyone in the interior which that attribute currently. He also has a 2 attack value. I need a 4. Oh no! I need a 4 or higher. Okay, so the decision I have to make now is, do I want to chance it with one of these guys who have an attack value of 1? That is a 50% chance to take that submachine gunner out. Or do I want to spend one of my grenades? I only have 3 grenades left, because with the grenade I would get 3 dice instead of 1. So it's still not going to be 100% to take this guy out, but it's going to be hell of a lot higher than just one die. I really don't. I have a bad feeling. The thing is, if I fail, they're gonna surge me. You see, the whole board is full. So the question is, okay, I am gonna spend one grenade. I'm sad about it. I'm really sad. There we go. Lose one of our few grenades, but it's necessary. So I have 1 in base attack value +2 because I'm using a grenade and I'm also in the interior. If you are in one of these areas, you're not going to get that +2. 4 or higher. Okay. So maybe that 2 there that you see would have been that one roll I would have rolled by just attacking normally. Let's say that it was, because that's going to make me much happier. Okay, so now you know the deal. We have successfully survived the first attack phase. Man, that feels great. We remove our attack deck. We remove our tactics deck. We have successfully survived against these guys. They did not manage to take us out. So the thing we're going to do now is remove all disruption tokens. Remove, of course, all of the action and move tokens. Then we're going to unexhaust all of our defenders. Remove all of the assault counters, not the square ones, just the circles. And then we're going to place out armored cars on 9 to 10, 7, and submachine gunners on 1, 2, 3, 4 different positions. So I'm going to go ahead and pause recording and do that so you don't have to waste your time. Alright, so we have refreshed our troops, we have removed all of the enemy assault counters, and here we go again. So we take the 2 armored cars and put one on 9 to 10 and one on 7. So this is just like the base game, but now instead of putting riflemen, we put submachine gunners in the assault starting positions. And then we're ready to go the next attack phase. So I gotta say, the first phase we lost 1 postal worker and 1 trained. So that is not good. We have used too many grenades. We used 2 grenades and 2 ammunition tokens. So things are not going super. But as long as I get a victory, minor victory, it's okay. I'm happy. So let's take a look at the first tactic card, which is another coordinated attack. After solving a Rifleman card, roll the 7 to 12 placement die to place a second Rifleman counter and advance the counters as normal. Okay, so let's hope we don't get any Riflemen. And the first card we get is Yago. Sounds like a parrot. Let's see, 8. It goes over here. And then we have a machine gunner, and unfortunately it's C, where we already have one. So it turns into an emplaced machine gunner. So he's gonna target white because that's the furthest up. And this one is empty. This one has 2 soldiers. So that's the one he's gonna target. And he uses 3 dice. Unfortunately, the upper floors, you can see here that the basement and the ground floor has 6. But the upper floors only has 5. Because David hates us. He wants us to suffer. So we are gonna go ahead and suffer now. You see, it's impossible. Okay, we would have suffered anyway. We rolled a 6, but it almost feels impossible during the upper floors to have these machine gunners, which are emplaced, miss, which is a shame. But it is fun anyway. I'm just kidding around. Okay, so the second card is a Rifleman, so that is the one we really don't want right now with this tactic card going, and it's 10. So that pushes the armored car. Then we have 1 more Rifleman to place, and it's 9. So it's going to be the same location. And we have a machine gunner on B. So now all our machine gunners are emplaced. And B, let's see what color, blue, and yes, it's going to be blue. So let's see who he will target. Number 3, so Kupka. Again with 3 dice, and it's a hit. So these machine gunners, well, let's just say that it's hard sometimes. I have a hard time calculating if I should deal with them or if I should deal with the disruption tokens. Usually I think it's better to deal with them but you can't prioritize it too much because that way you're gonna have other problems. Then we have the cucumber guy, Gurk, who is coming 11-12. There we go. And that is the end of the first attack phase. So the tactic card, well, it wasn't nice, but it wasn't so bad at all. Okay, so we have some movement now to do. We're gonna move these guys into these areas and have them bring their rifles. Let's see, into purple. And two guys in one position, or for example in one of these bigger position, three guys, they can share a weapon, which is neat. Okay, so this guy is gonna move. Where do I want him? I want him here, okay? And then the logistics guy is gonna pick up 3 of this ammunition and move them over here. Okay, and then I have 4 actions, so my commander is gonna use his command action, removing all of these disruption tokens. This guy is gonna go ahead and use his suppression ability. He has +1 in suppression, will remove the ammunition token, and that gives him, again, you know the deal, 5 suppression tokens in gray. So let's see, white and blue, so blue, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we have this guy who also has suppression, and he has 5, but he also has an inspire counter in the same color, so he gets a +1, so he gets 6 suppression tokens, and we'll use them in gray since he is the color of gray and orange, and of course the gray one is going to be for us. Then we have one last action to take, and let's see, do I have anyone who can target this guy? Yes, I do. So this guy is going to go ahead and fire at the emplaced machine gunner over here, since his color is gray and orange and this guy is in gray white. He has a 2 attack value and need a 5 or higher, and a roll of 6. Very good. Okay, so that is the end of the first attack phase of phase 2. Alright, set to go for the next turn, and we draw our tactic card, Clear. Add 1 to the combat value for enemy assault counters during the clearing phase. So this one I like, because usually I don't let them, if I get a breach, I take care of them. I only happened once or twice that they've actually started taking out my units. I lose most of my units to howitzer, artillery, and machine gun fire. So that's cool. I don't think we're gonna have any breach this turn. So the first attack card is a Submachine Gunner. 12. And that makes one guy go into the suppression. The question now is, do I want to use 2 or do I want to use 3? If I use only 2, I have a smaller risk of having success, and I might lose the rest of them, but I'm just going to use 2. Because if you only play it safe, you will never win. Ah, look at that. So I needed a 4, obviously, because of the Submachine Gunner. Okay. And we draw the next attack card, and we now have an Infantry Gun, our first Infantry Gun in the game, which is E. And the Infantry Gun has an attack value currently of 2, so we'll roll 2 dice. We will attack the upper floors, and if he rolls a 5 or higher, it will decrease in its defensive value, which it does, so it goes down 1. Oof. That is not good. And we have Machine Gunner at D, which will target red and purple. So red is empty, so it will target purple, and it will target number 4, which is this guy, with 3 dice. He needs a 6 or higher to hit, which he does. I'm telling you guys, these machine gunners are very effective. And then we have a howitzer. Ooh. Okay, it's not looking good now for the upper floors. Whoops, I should evacuate this guy as soon as I can. I don't know why he is up there. I don't know why he's exhausted. I think I forgot to unexhaust him, because last turn I used this guy, I used that guy, I used him, and I used him. So yeah, he should not be exhausted, but I have to get him out of there, because look at this now. The howitzer has attack value 4, so that is 4 dice. So first, upper floor is a hit. Let's check the ground floor. Luckily, it's not a hit. That's very good, because once you get hits on these, you're in trouble. Basement. Oh, unfortunately, basement suffers a hit. That is very unfortunate. And we have one more attack card before we're done, and it's a Rifleman. And he goes on 9. There we go. Rifleman, and that means we have reached barrier number 4, our last barrier. So we're gonna go ahead and add the corresponding grenade bundle card to our attack deck. There we go. And that is the end of their attack turn. Like I said, we gotta get this guy out of here before things start going bad. I am gonna go ahead and move this guy. Let's see where I want to move him. I'm gonna go ahead and move him over here. Oh, he doesn't have a rifle. Okay, so I'll move him over here then to pick up that rifle at least. And then let's see. I have a rifle here I can move as well. Do I want to move that rifle somewhere? I don't know. There's not a lot of space left here, so I think actually I'm moving down with this guy. And he's bringing his rifle with him. And then I have one last movement. And I kind of feel like I want to have some of these trained guys there to be able to defend. So I'm going to move this guy over here. Okay, that's the way I play it. And then I have some actions to do. Let's see, I want to go ahead and reactivate my commander. And reactivate my suppressor. He's escaping next turn. Hopefully it's not going to be too late. And let's see, I can't really shoot at someone except these machine gunners. Let's see, can I shoot at C with anyone? Gray. Yeah, I can shoot with this guy. So this guy, and I can actually shoot with this guy too. He can borrow that rifle. So I'll shoot with him, first of all. 2 shots against the machine gunner. I need a 4 or higher. And I roll a 2 and a 3, so that's a fail. And then this guy, he has a 1 in attack value, +1 because he shares the color with an Inspire. So that's 2. And I need a 4 only, so luckily at least I take care of that machine gun. And that is the end of that turn. So let's go to next turn. Alright, let's go next turn. I'm still thinking that we can do this. Tactics. Add 1 to the defense value for enemy assault and support counters during the defense phase. So this one is not nice. And this is also, it's good when you have the suppression counters, because the card explicitly says during the defense phase, and this is during the attack phase, so there are suppression counters are still good. So that is perfect that we have such a high amount of suppression tokens. So we have a submachine gunner, so let's hope for a roll of 11 to 12. And we get a 7. So at least it's not a breach. And then we have Gertz, who also goes on 7. But we have a barrier. Didn't that barrier get destroyed? I want to remember that it did. Let me check. Nope, that barrier is very much still alive. So let's hope that it stays that way, I was gonna say. And then of course we draw it. So we lose our last standing barrier. And do that. And then we have 2 more cards. Rifleman. Where's the howitzers when you need them? So now we have a breach with a submachine gunner. And our last card. And it's another submachine gunner. Come on. 11 to 12. Come on. Yes. Okay, so that is good. We're gonna go ahead and use, for this guy we're using all of them. So 3 suppression tokens. And we need a roll of 5 or higher because of his defensive value of 5, which we do. So he's gone. Okay, so that is the end of the enemy attacking turn. We haven't drawn a lot of howitzer or infantry guns, so I can promise you soon the upper floors is gonna be completely destroyed, so we have to get out of there. Okay, so this guy is making a run for it. And we have some more movements to do. This guy is gonna go ahead and move down here. Actually, we'll do this. This guy moves with his suppression rifle over to the interior here because I want to bring him down to the ground floor. And then I think actually this guy moves over on this side because I want him to suppress or kill the machine gunner and the SS machine gunner, which will come here, so these guys can escape in phase 3. And then I'm also gonna move Kupka over here, and the reason why I do that is because that is gonna decrease the chance that these 2 guys get suppressed by machine gunners, because if Kupka stands here, a roll of 4, 5 and 6 will suppress them, but if Kupka stands here, a roll of 5 and 6 will suppress them, and a roll of 4 will suppress Kupka instead. So that is just a future investment to not lose those vital guys. Okay, and then we have some actions to do. Let's see. So this guy is gonna take a shot at the submachine gunner over here. He has a 2 attack value, +1 because of the Inspire guy. The submachine gunner has a defense value of 4, but because of the tactic card, you will add 1 defense value, so we need a roll of 5 now to take him out. And we're all 3, 2 and 4. So unfortunately that's a no-go. We use this guy, who also has an attack value of 2, +1 because of the Inspire counter in the same color, so that's 3 dice. And with 6 dice we managed to take out this submachine gunner. Okay, so the question is what I want to do with my two last actions. Okay, I want to shoot at this submachine gunner, I guess. So I'll use this guy for that. 2 dice, and actually that might be a little bit stupid since that submachine gunner, he has a defense value of 5, so it might be better to reactivate some guys now instead. But they are gonna breach me with a lot of troops, most probably. Man, I can't make up my mind. Well, I'm gonna do that, so I'll activate, let's see, these 2 guys. A lot of hard decisions in this game, definitely. What about these guys? Okay, one of them could be good to activate in case we have a machine gun over here again. So that is it. That is the end of this turn. Let's go to next turn. Okay, so we're ready for the next turn. And before we go, I just want to say, I know I've been watching some playthrough videos of some games, and you know when you're watching and then you're seeing like the guy who's making a video or playing the game, he's making like a strategical error, and you're like, oh my god, don't you see it? It's so obvious. And it's this man, because this postal worker, I don't want to lose him because I'll lose morale and I will lose VP, but he's disrupted, and he's been for, I think, 3 turns at least, because every time I pause the recording to clear up all of the markers, I say, oh man, that's a disrupted guy, I gotta save him. Why didn't I do that instead of reactivating this guy? But okay, next turn I'm gonna try to remember. Okay, so we have a tactic card, Eastern Approach. Okay, that sounds good because I have some suppression tokens there. When placing an enemy assault counter, roll the 7 to 12 placement die 3 times and use the highest result. Ignore the effect of this card if the Western Approach card is also in play, and that would be on Elite difficulty. Okay, so we have a Rifleman. And we don't need to roll the 3 times because it's already the highest result. And then we have a Machine Gunner on C, which will target white. There's only one target, and he will roll only 1 dice, and he will hit on a 4 or higher. So, oh yeah, wow, thank you. He misses. And we have a Submachine Gunner. Let's get that out of the way. Okay, 12. So again, we don't need to roll as the Submachine Gunner rolls on the highest place the first roll. Okay, so we have some disruption tokens here. Let's see how many we want to use. Okay, we want to use 2 of them again. We want to use 2 of them, and we need to roll 4 or higher. Oh man, no. Okay, so we don't hit him, so we lose all 4 remaining suppression tokens. Oh, that is horrible. And we have a Rifleman. 8. Remember, roll 3 times because of the tactic card. 10. 11. Okay, so we have a breach. A Rifleman breach. And then last card is another Machine Gunner on A, targeting blue. Targeting number 4, which is Kupka. Lucky I moved him. And we are rolling 3 dice. And we need a 4 or higher to hit. And of course we do. So Kupka is now disrupted. Alright, so that is it for our enemy phase. Now to our movement. This guy is moving down here with his suppression rifle. And let's see, do we want to move anyone else? Perhaps we do. I believe we would like to move this guy with his rifle into this area. And then this guy is moving up here. And this guy is moving with his rifle into this box. Okay, so that's it for our movement. Looking pretty good there, I think. You know, once you played a few games, you are getting the movement. You'll see how valuable it is, and you're gonna be, you know, thinking ahead like playing a game of chess. And we have 4 actions. So first of all, of course, we have to deal with this Submachine Gunner. Let's see. So we'll use these guys. So this guy rolls 2 dice. He needs a 4 or higher. And we get him. Good job. Okay, so we gotta get rid of this disruption token on the postal worker. It's insane. And let's see. We want to get rid of that machine gun. We're gonna go ahead and use Franz for that. And we are rolling 2 plus 1 dice because of the inspire from one of them. We need a 4 or higher, which we get, so the machine gunner is taken care of. And for our last action. Man, this is a little bit problematic. Maybe we should have tried to do some more suppression tokens there, because we still have 10 attack cards in the attack deck. Alright, so what I'll do, I'll reactivate this guy. We have no... I remember to do this disruption token this turn. Okay, so that is it. That is the end of this turn. And there we go, ready to go again. So we pull a tactics card. Suppressive fire, oh no. Add 1 to the combat value, so 1 dice for, or 1 die for machine gunner counters during the enemy phase. Okay, so that is not good. Let's hope we don't get machine gunners, but of course we're gonna get some machine gunners, my friend. Rifleman, 12. So we have another breach. I'm thinking we're gonna have a lot of breaches this turn. Probably gonna have to use one of our grenades. Submachine Gunner, 10. So that is another breach. And an Infantry Gun on F. So these guys are coming now, man. Ooh. Okay, and he will roll 2 dice. He needs to roll a 4 or higher. Come on, miss, miss, miss. Oh yeah! Whew. That is good. You need to delay that as much as you can. D, which will target red. Let's see, red or purple. It should be, yes. Red is evacuated, so he's going to go ahead and target purple. And he will target number 3, which is the entrance, which is empty. So instead, he will, whoops, target these 2 guys. And now instead of firing his normal 3 dice, he will fire with 4 because of his added combat value. And he needs a roll of 6, which he does not get. So the machine gunner doesn't hit, even with his improved power from the tactic card. So that is cool. That is really cool. And then we have another submachine gunner, so we are going to have another breach, unfortunately. 7. Submachine gunner, okay. So that's it for the enemy turn. We're going to go ahead and do some movement now. My suppression guy here is moving into this area, this box, with his suppression rifle. And let's see what I want to do with these riflemen. Do I want to move anyone else? So this is the question now. Do I want to stay here and risk it, or do I want to move them to safety? I have them there already. They are going to try to stay there to cover these poor civilians and try to give them a chance to make it out alive. However, I do wish to have better soldiers here in gray to target that machine gunner, which is going to come automatically in phase 3. So I'm moving this guy over, let's see, over here. And then I am moving this red train guy into that area instead. And then this guy I'm moving here, because I have a rifle there, so since I can have 2 counters there, it makes more sense. Let's see, let's hope I didn't forget anything. Nope. Okay, so I have 4 actions. So first of all, I am gonna go ahead and fire at the submachine gunner with 3 dice. And he's gone. And then I'm gonna go ahead and fire with, let's see, yeah, let's do Teshmer. We'll fire at the submachine gunner with 2 dice. And he's gone. That is cool. And then let's see, who do we have more? We have, I don't want to say his name, Kuntz. 2 dice against the rifleman remaining there. 4 or higher. Yes, I get a 4 and a 5. So I managed to deal with these intruders without wasting my precious grenades. So that feels good. But now I have to prepare for the last destructive phase. There is 1 more phase. I can see the cards. I can see that there are 5 more cards for 1 more turn. So I'm going to reactivate this guy here with 1 action, so he can fire next turn. And this is a risky movement because these commanders, they are so good with their command ability. It's so good. And then they have Inspire, and they also have the 2 in attack. So they are not good to lose, but I gotta risk it. And then Kupka, ooh, that is a problem that he's so hurt. Well, it is what it is, guys, like I always say. So, actually this guy is going to remain exhausted. I'll reactivate this guy in case I have to use grenades and the first grenade user doesn't make it. Okay, so prepare for the last phase of, or last turn of attack phase number 2. Alright, so we're ready to go now for our last turn, or last phase of turn 2, or last turn of phase 2. I noticed, by the way, looking at the screen, that it was kind of hard to make out what rolls I did with those small black dice. So I have changed to these big red ones that come with the game, and hopefully it's easier to see my rolls. Okay, so our last tactic cards for the second attack, which happens during the midday, and it's tactics, focused fire. Add 1 to the combat value for infantry gun counters during the enemy phase. And I can tell you that I think there's at least 2 more of these cards. I think, I'm not sure, and perhaps even the howitzer. So I think this floor might get nuked this turn. We'll see. Yeah, look at that. Infantry gun for E, so it's now emplaced. So it has an attack value of 3, plus 1 because of the tactic card. I only need a roll of 4 or higher to successfully break that. Look at that. So that is 1 hit. Next tactic card. I have a bad feeling about this. Man. Okay, so last tactic card, 9. Let's see. It's a Rifleman. So we have a breach. There we go. And we have Grunov, a leader who will go to 9 and 10. So we have another breach on our hands. And a machine gunner at D. He will target purple and blue. Sorry, purple and red. Red has been evacuated, so he will target purple. Number 6, which is my civilians. That's not nice of him. He will target him with, or them, with 3 dice because he's in place. He needs a 6 or higher, which he gets. And that means all of my civilians, God bless them, they are disrupted. So let's hope that that doesn't happen a second time, because that is going to be problematic. And what did I tell you? There we go with the second infantry gun. And it's in place now, so it will roll 3 dice, plus 1 because of the tactics card. If we get a roll of 4 or higher, all of them will be disrupted, and Kupka, who is already disrupted, will be killed. Man, I can't believe it. Oh, I thought I was gonna make it, but nope. So Kupka, unfortunately, is our 3rd casualty, but luckily for us, Kupka is trained, so it doesn't affect morale. We don't lose any morale, and we won't lose any VPs either. And those disruption tokens, actually, they don't do anything bad to us, hopefully, because most likely we will take care of these guys, and then we'll move on to the last and final phase. Okay, so we have 4 movement to do, but I actually think that I don't think there is any movement that I want to do. Or perhaps move one of these guys into this location so I can benefit from the rifle I have there. And let's see. Is there anyone else that I would benefit from moving? I actually don't think so. Is there anyone? I have inspire counters in both. Nope, I don't think so. So I'm gonna leave that be and just go to my actions. And I got 4 actions, and I gotta take care of these intruders if I want to make it to the next phase. So this, okay, I'll attack with them latest in case I have to use the grenades. So Magulski will attack, or actually Mionkovsky, who has an attack value of 2, +1 because of the Inspire. He's gonna attack the Submachine Gunner. I need a roll of 4 or higher, which I get. And then next guy to attack is gonna be Magulski, which has an attack value of 1 +1 because of the Inspire, countering the same, and I roll a 6. So that takes care of that. Now I am safe. I will move on without having to reshuffle the attack deck. But before we do so, I could start trying to take out some of these guys. And I'd have to take care, for some of the machine gunners, I'll have to take care of the emplaced ones. It doesn't make sense to take care of the normal ones, because remember, during the beginning of phase 3 with the tactic cards on the veteran ability or veteran difficulty, you will add machine gunners to all of the empty spaces. So if there's just one left, it doesn't make sense to kill that one during the last defense phase. A lot of things you have to keep track of in this game if you want to do good. But anyway, these emplaced ones could be good to take out. So let's see, do we have anyone with a rifle that is able to, that have a line of sight? Okay, so this guy he's in orange and purple, sorry, orange and gray, and he has a rifle. So he will fire with 2 +1 because of the Inspire at one of these, and I'll fire at A. So I needed a roll of 5, which I got, so that is cool. Then I have one final action to perform before this round is over, and I will do so with Klinkos. And Klinkos will use the ranged rifle you see here, the suppression rifle, the Browning, I think it is. And he has 1 in attack value, +1 because of the Inspire, and he will attack D. And I need a roll of 5. I get 5 and 6. So again, I'm successful in taking out those nasty emplaced machine gunners. And that, my friends, finally it's the end of attack phase 2. We make it to attack phase number 3. Let's see if we can also survive that. Let me just clear up the board. Alright guys, so we are ready to go now for the last attack phase. Let's see if we can do this. So what we have done is we have moved back our armored cars to the original locations. Now we will put a SS Submachine Gunner on every starting position. In the normal game you would put a SS Rifleman, but on Veteran and Elite difficulty it's going to be a Submachine Gunner. On top of that, when you play on Veteran difficulty, you will also place out machine gunners on every empty spot. But the only empty spot we have is C. So all of my postal workers and non-combatants have been refreshed. The disruption tokens have been removed and they have been unexhausted. So they are ready for another fight. The last thing you're going to do is take your fire truck card. And again, if you're panicked, it's going to be in the bottom 12 card shuffled in, shaken bottom 7 cards, or emboldened, it's simply going to be in the bottom of the deck. So you know it's going to be the very last attack card. Okay, so let's see now. Before we start going, I just want to tell you now what my goal of this game is. I've never been able to escape with these guys. I have them here. To escape with them, they have to either be at an entrance, either this, or this one. You cannot escape from this entrance, unfortunately. To escape from this entrance, they should be in one of these 2 locations. But to escape with them, the escape way is here, is on the side. That row has to be clear. So this guy has to be taken care of. And this guy, every machine gunner which has line of sight. On top of that, if I would get, for example, guys moving up here, they would also block if they come into the gray area. And on top of that, these guys, who are the only guys This is the only guys, these two, which have line of sight to this SS Submachine Gunner. And then I have a few more that has line of sight to the Machine Gunner. But the Submachine Gunner, only these two. So if they get suppressed now, or if they get killed, well, it's pretty much game over in terms of having a major victory. Because remember, you have to escape with a few counters to have a major victory. Anyway, that is enough of my babbling. Let's see now what we get with the first Horrible Tactics card. Fire support. Oh no. If a machine gunner disrupts or removes a defender, activate the machine gunner a second time. Let's hope we don't get a machine gunner. And we have a machine gunner on D. And luckily for us, the machine gunner is going to target purple. Let's hope it's not going to target 5 or 6. Oh no, it's targeting my civilians. Man, and we will roll 3 dice, but he needs a 6. No! No! Man, I am so unlucky. I am so unlucky. I can't believe it. And that means he will also go again because of the tactic card. And at least this time we get number 3. So it's not going to be the same guys. It's going to be them instead. And this time he misses. Oh man, I can't believe it. You're never able to escape. Always something happening to stop it from happening. Okay, SS Submachine Gunner. 12. SS Rifleman. Again, 12. Machine Gunner in C. That is the last place we need a machine gunner right now. And he's automatically going to target white. These two are the only guys. And he will target, since he's in place now with 3 dice, he only needs a roll of 4 to hit, which he obviously does. And that means my chances to escape with these guys are pretty much 0. And then we have a Rifleman. And I wonder if I'm not going to roll 11 and 12 now. Yeah, of course. So now it's completely screwed because he's not going to be able to escape. So my only plan now is going to be to get the heck out of there with my commanders. Okay, it's the end of the enemy turn. So these guys are very, very fast moving here to the interior. Hopefully I can make it out alive next turn. But if we get a howitzer or an infantry gun, they're going to be screwed. Okay. See what we want to do. We want to take a shot at, let's see, this soldier in gray. And I will fire with, let's see, I'm not going to use, okay, I will use him. He will fire, he has an attack value of 1, +1 because of the Inspire from Mission. So I need a 5 or higher to hit the machine gunner. And I do. Then this guy is going to go ahead and suppress. He suppresses with remove 1 ammunition token, remember. He suppresses with 6 suppression tokens, since he has a suppression value of 2 +1, +2 because of the weapon, and +1 because of the Inspire. So that's a total of 6. And let's see, we have some more actions to take. This guy is going to go ahead and suppress. Also 6 suppression tokens in purple. And then I have one more action. And I kind of want to bring down my commanders to refresh these poor civilians. And I also realize now that I gotta move some of these guys around because I'm not gonna be able to fit my commanders otherwise. So I'm gonna have to move at least one of these guys to the side. Well, you should do your movement first, but I'll do it now. So this guy moves over there. Since I had a movement left, I will let myself do that. Okay, I have one last action. And I'm going to go ahead and fire at... Let's see, I'm going to fire at, I guess, perhaps the machine gun. I have a machine gunner at D. Let's see, it's purple and red. Okay, so I can fire with one of these guys, which have a rifle, and they have 1 in attack value +1 because of the Inspire, and I only need 4 to hit that machine gunner. Oh, and I roll a 3 and a 2, so unfortunately I miss. So that, my friends, is the end of the first defense phase. Quite a depressing start, I'm afraid. Alright, so second turn. Tactics, suppressive fire. Add 1 to the combat value to the machine gunner counters during the enemy phase. So basically +1, 1 more die. So the machine gun guys are lethal this turn. Okay, we have unfortunately a howitzer. That is going to be a problem for this floor. We get to roll 4 dice. And it is a confirmed hit if a miracle doesn't happen here. And this knocks them over. So these guys are dead. And the guys in the interior are suppressed or disrupted. And then we roll for ground floor. And let's see, we roll 5, 3, 3, 1, so it's okay. And the basement. That's the problem with this big die. So the basement and the ground floor is okay. So that is at least some good news. Then we have SS Submachine Gunner who's coming on 9. And another SS Submachine Gunner on 7. And an SS Rifleman, so perhaps we'll not meet any of those nasty machine gunners this turn, which are stronger because of the tactic card. Whoops. Yeah, we have an SS Rifleman, so that's cool. Okay. 8. Not a lot of luck during this game, but I'll take any luck at all. Okay, so we have done the enemy phase. We have movement. Do we want to do any movement? This guy is going to go ahead and move down here to the basement. And let's see. Nope, I don't believe we want to move anyone else. I would like to move these guys out of harm's way, but they are disrupted, so I can't move them. Okay, so I have 4 actions. So with my 4 actions, I'm going to go ahead and use 2 actions to get these guys' disruptions away. They need to get out of there. But I think time's up for them, unfortunately. And then I'm going to go ahead and unexhaust my suppression guys, so they can keep the suppressions up. And that's it for this turn. Alright, next turn. Can I survive with these commanders? I don't think so, but we'll see. Tactic card. Add 1 to the combat value for enemy assault counters during the clearing phase. I like that one. SS Rifleman on 10. Then we have a machine gunner at A, who's going to target blue or orange. Blue has currently been evacuated, so he's going to target orange. Ground floor is first up, so let's see who he will target. Number 3, which will be Teshmer, since 2 and 3 is empty. And he will target with, let's see, A, which becomes emplaced, with 3 dice. He needs to roll a 6, which he does. These, I'm telling you, these machine gunners are lethal. Another machine gunner at D, which becomes emplaced. Who will target in red or purple? So it's going to be purple. Ooh, that was lucky. If it would have been 5 to 6, we would have been done for. Number 2, which is Basic. And again with 3 dice. Come on. Oh, he hits. He gets a disruption token. Another machine gunner at B, which will target orange. He will target number 5, which is these 2 guys. 3 dice, he's emplaced. On a roll of 6 he hits, but he does not. So, lucky shot. Last card, let's hope it's not an infantry gun or howitzer. It's a SS Rifleman. I'm very happy with that, because that means we can escape with our commanders. 5. That's a wrong. I'm getting excited now. We're getting to the end here. 9. So that means we have our first, let's see, Rifleman. We have our first suppression attempt. So I have 6 suppression tokens here. I will use 3 of them to try to get this submachine gunner. I need to roll 5 or higher. Ah! I lose all of them. Okay. So we're really getting towards the end here, guys. Okay, so I am gonna go ahead and move down my commanders. Ba-ba-da-bam. Then I am gonna go ahead and use some actions. Let's see what actions I want to use. I want to go ahead and I want to fire a shot with this guy at the SS Submachine Gunner there with 2 dice. His hit, I roll a 6. Unfortunately, he doesn't roll a 3rd die for Inspire, since he's now currently disrupted. I'll use my suppressor here to bring in 5 suppression tokens here. Let's see, gotta take 1 ammunition away, and then this guy, he does the same over here with an ammunition token, but he does with 6, since I do have Inspire here, who is currently not disrupted. And then let's see what I want to do. I want to go ahead and remove the disruption token from Vasik. So those are my actions, and that is the end of this turn. And we have a total of, you can count the cards, we have 3 more turns. 3 more turns left. So the commanders next turn, they're going to get in place, and then they're going to have a move token, so I can't use them, and then the last turn I can use them, so that's rather silly. But anyway, I did give it my best up here, and I'm proud that I did that. I didn't take the easy way out, so I did try. Okay, let's go to the next turn. Okay, so next turn, I'm not terribly worried, because I think we have a lot of howitzer cards left, a lot of infantry gun cards left, and we have quite a lot of suppression. The only thing I'm worried about is the machine gunners. I really hope I don't lose these guys. Okay, so the tactic card. Okay, Eastern Approach. This is good, because I have a lot of suppression tokens there. So when placing an enemy assault counter, roll the 7 to 12 placement die 3 times and use the highest result. So the first guy I draw is Machine Gunner, who will target blue or orange. It's going to be orange. Unfortunately, it's number 3, which goes to 4. So he will attack with 3 dice. He needs a 6 or higher to hit. If he hits, which he does, I lose that soldier. And unfortunately, that also means I lose 1 VP and I lose 1 victory point. Sorry, 1 morale. Okay, so that's not good. Then we have a submachine gunner. And we roll 3 times, remember, but this time we don't have to do that, since on the first roll we get it on the highest. Okay, so this time I'm actually going to use 4 suppression tokens and hope I roll a 5 or higher. I am going to freak, man. I lose all of them. Man, I am not lucky with my suppressions. So that guy makes it. That is the second time that happens. SS Submachine Gunner again. 10. We roll 2 more times. 10 again. 1 last time. 10. Okay, so we have another suppression over here. And let's see how many we have. We have 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's use 3 of them. And hope we roll a 5 or higher. Yes, we do. So this time we actually do. So that saves us 2 for the next attempt. SS Submachine Gunner. And we roll 3 times. 8, 12. So we have a breach. Let's see, SS Submachine Gunner. And the last enemy card, which is a machine gunner hitting blue or orange, who targets 5, these 2 guys. He needs a 6, which he doesn't get. That's awesome. Okay. So I made it. My civilians are alive. I'm moving on now with my commanders. Next turn I'm going to be able to use them as well. That is perfect. Do I want to move anyone else? Yep, I want to move Magulski. Let's see, over here. And then I don't want to move anyone. Okay, so I have 4 actions. Of course, I got to deal with this guy who breached. And I'm going to do so with... See, this guy who gets to roll 3 dice. He has a 2 attack value. +1 because of the Inspire. So 3 dice, I need to roll 5 or higher. Yes. Perfect. Okay, so I have 3 more actions to take here. And... Okay, I am gonna go ahead and use those 3 actions to get these disruption tokens away from these guys, because I know that if I don't do that, these guys are goners. Yeah, that is what I'm gonna do. Okay, so that is the end of that turn, and this time I'm not even gonna pause because there's so little stuff to... Well, look at that, I try to be fast and then I just do stupid stuff. Okay, but anyway, there's not so much to move, so I'm just gonna do it without getting up. I don't have the strength in my legs because I'm so nervous. It's just like Pavlov's house. The last turns you are super nervous. Okay, so we have 2 more turns. So our tactic card is cover. Add 1 to the defense value for enemy assault and support counters during the defense phase. That is not good. Let's hope we don't get many more breaches. So we have a submachine gunner. SS Submachine Gunner, that is. 9. So fortunately, the increase in cover does not save them from suppression. So I'll use both of these suppression tokens. I will need to roll a 5 or higher. I fail. Machine gunner, targeting white or gray. So it's gonna be here. Let's see who he will target. Number 6 is gonna be these guys with 3 dice. And he actually misses. But if he would have hit there and I would not have removed the disruption tokens, they would have been dead. Machine gunner at A, so that is blue and orange. So it's gonna be orange. 5, so these 2 guys. He needs to roll a 6 or higher. He fails. Then we have an SS Rifleman, who's coming on 10. So we have a breach, unfortunately. That is not good, because we are gonna need a roll of 6 to destroy him. And the last cards, we're gonna have another breach, unfortunately. 11. And SS Rifleman gets into the house. There we go. Okay, so that is the end of the enemy phase. Now I need to do something smart here to get rid of these guys. I'm gonna go ahead and use a grenade. I think... Should I do that? Yeah. Okay, so I'm using a grenade with this guy. He has a 2 in combat value. He gets +2 because he uses a grenade and he's also in the interior. So he shoots at the submachine gunner first. He needs a 6, which he gets, thankfully. Then he targets the SS Rifleman. He still needs a roll of 6. No, which he fails. And when you fail, you will have to roll. And if you roll a 1, you are dead. Look at that, I rolled a 1. So he's a casualty. He becomes a casualty. That is a shame. Okay, so how do we deal with this situation now? This stresses me out. Okay, there is just one more attack phase. Okay, moment. So I kinda only have to deal with this guy because since next turn is the final turn, it's last turn, it doesn't actually matter if they breach or not because it's still gonna end once I draw that fire truck card. But I guess the ones who get in will kill me. Yeah, they will. Okay, so I'm gonna try to get this guy then. Okay. So I'll attack with this guy who has a 1 in attack value. He will get 1 extra dice because of Inspire. Okay, so I get a 6, so that is very good. Then I will use my next one to, with my commander here, well, let's see, I'm gonna use this commander instead. I'll reactivate this guy, and this guy, and then I will use what's his name? Mionskovsky, which is a suppression guy, and use the last. Oh no, I can't because there is a rifleman there, so that is a shame. Otherwise, I could have taken care of that guy, but I can't do that. So let's see what I want to do with my last action then. Okay, for my last action, I will go ahead and reactivate this guy. So that's my last deal. And again, it's my last turn now, so I'm too nervous to stand up. So you're just gonna have to wait and watch me clear the board. Actually, I gotta stand up, look at the battery. Okay, we have battery. We don't have a lot, but we have enough for a final turn. Final tactics card. Assault. After resolving an SS Submachine Gunner card, oh no, place a second SS Submachine Gunner counter in the same location as the first. Oh, that is not good. Let's hope we don't get any of those. We are gonna get some howitzer, I'm sure of it. Machine Gunner B, which is blue and orange, so it's gonna be orange. Number 3, she's gonna be Conrad. He's gonna attack with 3 dice, and it's a miss. He needs a 6 or higher. And then we have a Submachine Gunner. That is not good. So it's gonna be 2 of them. And he's gonna go to 9, which is over here. So these 2 riflemen will breach into the building. That's a shame. Howitzer, told you so, guys. So let's ignore the first floor. We have no defenders. Let's roll for the ground floor. Yep, ground floor takes a hit. Let's roll for the basement. And yep, basement also takes a hit. Then we have another howitzer. I told you guys. Let's roll for the ground floor. Yes, it takes a hit. And then let's roll for the basement. And it also takes a hit, but it's okay. And then the last card, of course, that is going to be the fire truck. So the fire truck, and that leaves us with these 2 SS Riflemen we have to deal with. So we're going to use our very last grenade here. And you know the deal, I have 2 in attack value with this guy. And I get +2 because I'm using a grenade. I'm also in the interior. So I need a 5 or higher to hit. The first one I miss. I get a chance on the second one. I hit the second one. Then I would roll. On a roll of 1, I die. I roll a 2, so it's okay. Okay, so I'm firing with Rekovsky for 2 + 1 because of the Inspire. At the SS Rifleman, I need a 5, and I roll 2 5s. So my guys are gonna keep up the fire, even though I will not get any more VPs for it, but they're gonna keep up the fire just because they the heroes, you know, they are. So let's see. This guy is gonna go ahead and fire on purple with 3 dice, 2 + 1 because of Inspire. I need a 5 or higher. Ugh. Yes. Killing Nazis. Okay, last action. We'll go to, let's see. I need to be in the gray area. So this guy is gonna go ahead and fire. And he's firing on this SS Rifleman with 2 dice, which is his attack value. Unfortunately, he misses. And that, my friends, is the end of the game. The fire truck has been sent. Let's see how many victory points I get. I will get, let's see, let's remove these action tokens. Okay, so I will get a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23 victory points. I think that is pretty good. I only lost 2 postal workers, so they would have given me 25 victory points if I would have been able to save them. I did lose a total of 5 trained postmen. And it still bothers me that I didn't get to escape with the civilians, but like you saw, I really gave it my best. So anyway, with my 23 victory points, my victory level shall be what do we say? 23. So let's bring this closer to the camera so you can see that I'm not lying to you. 16 to 25, I had 23, is a cross of valor and a minor victory. So again, to get the major victory, 26 to 40, you have to escape with at least 1 counter, since you can maximum get 25 victory points with no escape, if every civilian and every postman survives. So 23 victory points, I gotta stay still on using the tactics cards. That is a good victory. You gotta give that to me, and you gotta give to me that I really gave it a shot trying to get those poor civilians out, and very good men paid with their lives because we tried this. So I gotta say, this game is another masterpiece from David Thompson, the designer, published by DVG, Danvers and Games, and using the tactics card is much more fun than playing the normal game. But I'll say this about it, that I think it's more fun, but I think it's a little bit unfair, because I tend to look at those victory points and kind of want to get high victory points, which is obviously super hard, because the only thing, I mean, just that you start with a machine gunner here and you have a harder, submachine gunner there, makes it much harder to escape. So I think that there should be this thing in the rule that if you play on veteran difficulty, you will get 5 additional victory points. If you play on elite or whatever the hardest one is called, you will get 10 additional victory points. And I understand this is a solo game. I can make up any rules that I want because I'm just playing on my own, so I can, call it whatever I want to. But for some reason, I am always looking at the kind of different victory levels when I'm playing solo games, like, for example, the Hunters. And, you want the highest victory, of course, as intended. So anyway, still, it's a great game, and like I said before, Castle Litter is great, but this is a big step up from Castle Litter, and I can't wait to try out playing on the hardest difficulty level with two of these tactic cards. So we're definitely gonna try that. I'm gonna play that. I usually do it. I try a few games playing alone, and then when I feel like I got the rules good, I do it on camera. So that's what my next goal, because really this is a really fun game, and I'm so happy I supported this game on Kickstarter. So be aware, the fourth part of the series, which is about a small battle during the Battle of the Bulge, Americans versus Germans, is coming to, I believe, to Kickstarter. I don't know if it's going to be a Kickstarter or not, but it's going to be on Kickstarter or pre-order soon. So keep your eyes open for that. Okay, and that is enough of me babbling. I wanted to make a short video. I'm sure that we have recorded for several hours already. Thank you as always, guys, for watching. Thank you for staying with me and being my company when I play these very good solo games. Please subscribe to my channel if you like my videos. It does help me out a lot. Okay, see you next time.